Special Envoy Hans Grunberg calls for lifting restrictions of all movements to and from Yemen. Suspected Al-Qaeda attacks kills 2 soldiers in Shabwa Governorate. Houthis increase drone attacks on Ma'rib amid lack of decisive steps towards peace. Welcome to Yemen Today TV. This is the English news from me, Shazza Abdelbay. The United Nations Special Envoy Hans Grunberg welcomed the government's measures to increase the number of flights between the airports of Sana'a and Amman. Grunberg urged the parties to agree on further measures to improving living conditions in Yemen and on a nationwide ceasefire. The Houthi militia refuses to implement the provisions of the expired truce, despite the concerns made by the government. This report has more details.
The UN envoy to Yemen, Hans Grunberg, has welcomed the recent increase in flights between Sana'a, the capital of Yemen, and Amman, the capital of Jordan. In an official press statement on Saturday, Grunberg emphasized the need for lifting all restrictions on freedom of movement into, out of, and within war-ravaged Yemen. He further urged all parties involved in the Yemeni conflict to reach consensus on additional measures aimed at enhancing the living conditions of Yemeni citizens and implementing a nationwide ceasefire. Meanwhile, Yemeni Airways, the national airline of Yemen, announced that it will offer 6 weekly flights to Jordan starting June 10. Mohsen Haidara, the commercial director of Yemeni Airways, said the company's efforts have been rewarded by the increase in flights to Jordan, which marks the first stage in their plans to expand to other destinations. Sana'a International Airport has been under the control of the Houthi militia since their takeover of the Yemeni capital in 2014. Commercial flights had been suspended as a result, but were resumed on a limited scale in May 2022 through a deal brokered by the UN. The first commercial flight in nearly 6 years took off on May 16, 2022, from Yemen's capital to Amman, which was a major step forward in a peace process that has provided relief from conflict. Since then, Yemeni Airways has been occasionally operating flights between Sana'a and Amman, transporting passengers and facilitating medical travel for Yemenis seeking treatment abroad. According to local observers, efforts to ease restrictions on Yemen's airspace are expected to alleviate the hardships faced by Yemenis and create an environment conducive to peace and stability. The country's economy used to benefit from the income made from passengers traveling through the airport and goods transported through it. When the airport closed, many people lost their jobs. Companies and suppliers providing services to the airport closed down and suffered economic losses. The parties to the conflict work to find common ground that benefits the well-being of the Yemeni people and urge them to meet other elements of the truce, like opening the roads in Taiz and other governed rights.
In the same line, the United States welcomed the increase in the number of flights between Sana'a and Amman. The U.S. Special Envoy to Yemen, Tim Linderking, expressed his appreciation to the Yemeni government and Jordan for their efforts to expand and increase these humanitarian flights. Government forces defended 2 Houthi infiltration attempts in Taiz. Military sources said the government forces in Taiz stopped a Houthi infiltration attempt towards positions in Al-Kadama area. Another Houthi infiltration in the air defenses northwest of the city of Taiz was also stopped, according to the statement. 2 soldiers were killed and 5 others were injured by gunmen believed to be from the terrorist Al-Qaeda organization east of Shabwa. Local sources said the attack also resulted in the burning of 2 military patrols belonging to Shabwa Defense Forces. Sources added that the gunmen took control of the military site for some time before leaving it without being intercepted by anyone.
The people in Yemen deserve to live in dignity and safety. They are facing a protection crisis in which Yemenis, refugees, and asylum seekers all suffer. 74% of the displaced are women and children. We are ready to deliver more, but we need resources to provide protection, assistance, and solutions. But above all, people in Yemen need a lasting peace to end the suffering and enable a real chance to recover and rebuild their lives.
Houthi militia intensified drone attacks on Ma'rib in a recent incident. Yemeni government forces shot down 2 Houthi drones in Ma'rib, according to Yemen Today TV. The Houthi escalation comes amid lack of steps towards peace. This report has more details.
The Yemeni government forces shot down 2 Houthi drones in the central province of Ma'rib on Saturday. The drones were intercepted and shot down while flying towards army positions in the western part of the province, the national public television said, citing a statement from the army. The Yemeni government has repeatedly accused the Houthi rebels of carrying out drone attacks in the oil-rich province, which has served as a significant battleground between the warring factions. However, tensions between the warring parties have eased in recent months, with both sides adhering to a tacit truce. Consequently, drone attacks have become less frequent. Domestically assembled drones that can fly hundreds of miles are proving a security headache in Yemen and neighboring countries. The low-tech weapons, which use over-the-counter parts, were deployed in 2 attacks on the wealthy Gulf states. Some Houthi drones have a range of about 1,500 kilometers, according to rebels and analysts. They have frequently targeted Saudi Arabia, killing and injuring civilians and damaging infrastructure, including oil facilities and airports. It is difficult to counter drones and missile attacks, especially when used in a swarm tactic where multiple weapons are sent at once to overwhelm existing defenses. The Houthi rebels have been using attack drones and medium-range missiles at low altitude and low speed so that they are hard for conventional radar to detect. The Houthis say they manufacture the drone domestically, although analysts say they contain smuggled Iranian components.
The Houthi militia admitted that 6 of its senior officers were killed on the battlefronts. Houthi media reported that group buried the bodies of 6 officers of its fighters that have military ranks. Houthi militia carried out a campaign of arrests of dozens of citizens in areas under their control. Security sources confirmed to Yemen Today that the militia arrested and kidnapped 96 citizens in the first week of May. Most of those arrested took place in Sana'a, Dala'ib, and Hajjah. Local sources said that 2 civilians from one family were killed in a mine explosion in Al Jawf. In addition, earlier 2 children died and their father, and a mother and brother were also injured in a similar incident in the western side of the governorate. Coming next in the news. Divergent money transfer fees between Sana'a and Aden plagues Yemenis nationwide. Welcome back. In Hodeidah, the local authority launched summer camps in Al Khawkha district. These camps aim to immunize the youth against the sectarian ideology of the Houthi militia. This report has more details.
With this interactive initiative, students came to the 22 May campus in Al Khawkha district, the temporary administrative center to the governorate of Hodeidah, to actively participate in the launching ceremony of the activities of the summer camps and centers in the liberated areas, which aims to develop the skills and abilities of youth and students and encourage their talents.
In fact, we've great hopes on these centers to immunize young people from the misconceptions spread by the Houthi militia who are blockading our country.
More than 700 students from the districts of Hais and Al Khawkha have been accommodated in summer camps and centers so that they benefit from the ongoing activities. Observers believe that the liberated areas in Hodeidah are moving towards a better future by caring for young people, which is far from what the Houthi militia is doing in the areas under its control, in terms of sectarian mobilization ideas that aim to poison the minds of young people and youth, making them time bombs that can destroy the present and the future in service of the Houthi destructive project.
Our initiative is based on the directives and sponsorship of Brigadier Tariq Muhammad Abdullah Saleh. We work day and night with the local authority to ensure that our students come out with high academic results and benefit from these centers and summer camps. The late leader Ali Abdullah Saleh is considered the spiritual father of Yemen. He is still in our hearts and we try to work to revive his memory.
A step in the right track that aims to create an educated generation by engaging youth and students in activities that contain education programs and sports activities to develop their skills, fill the void during the summer vacation, and protect youth and students from the intrusive destructive ideas and the reinforcement of the values of national loyalty among these young people. Such initiatives aim to make children construction tools, not demolition shovels as the Houthi militia wants them to be.
A recent UN report revealed that Yemen, Somalia, Syria, and Lebanon are the countries that suffer from acute food crisis. A report issued in June by the United Nations confirmed that large number of peoples live in severe food insecurity. The UN estimated that 53% of the population in Yemen suffers from an acute degree of food insecurity. The divergent money transfer fees between Sana'a and Aden doubled the suffering of citizens across the country. This report has more details.
The deterioration of the currency made the economic situation even worse for most of the families who struggle to survive. This issue led to the increase of the exchange money transfer fees between the liberated areas and the Houthi-controlled areas. That has an obvious effect on the peoples with low income who work day and night. Then the exchange offices swallow 70% of people's money.
No matter how much we earn, either 100,000 or 30,000 riyals, when it is transferred through the exchange office, only 25% of it is received. I think the people in charge there manipulate with the fees of the money transfer.
The truce contributed in calming the critical political scene. However, the economic situation has not become better for citizens who are unable to provide the basic needs. Many people fled from the Houthi-controlled areas to pursue jobs and a better life. Nevertheless, the Houthis managed to smother workers' earnings by overtaking the central bank's local and foreign currency and deactivating the national resources.
They take unlawful levies, claiming that they stand for people's rights, especially in Ramadan. I have left my house since August the 20th to look for a job, and my family does not know where I am. If I count my working days, they won't be even 30 days in total. Workers do not benefit from the transferred money because it is way less than it should be. Workers feel depressed.
The reality of the economy is disastrous, which is exacerbated a year after another, and the government did not make any effort to drastically solve the continuation of the local currency deterioration in order to ease the citizens' suffering due to the ongoing war, as well as the consecutive economic crisis in the country.
The Yemeni Center of Weather warned that the hurricane Biperjoy is expected to hit some areas in the country. In addition, according to the center, the country will be exposed to heavy thunderstorms, with winds reaching in speed between 27 and 32 knots, with waves rising between 2.5 to 4 meters. Here's a reminder of the main headlines. Special Envoy Hans Grunberg calls for lifting restrictions of all movements to and from Yemen. Suspected Al-Qaeda attacks kills 2 soldiers in Shabwa Governorate. Houthis increase drone attacks on Ma'rib amid lack of decisive steps towards peace. This is the end of the news with Shazad Al-Ba'i. Thank you for watching.